What's going on, guys? Cliff and Denny with On Your Own Outdoors. Hey guys, it's summertime and it's almost deer season, so you know what that means? It's time to knock out some gear reviews. So the stands that I've got in my hands right now are XOP's line of their lightweight stands. You've got the Retrograde and the Cold World. Two stands for one reason. If I went through all my comments and picked the most common comment whenever it came to XOP products, it is would I choose the Retrograde or would I choose the Cold World? And to answer that question right off the bat, which one of those seats are faded? So it tells you which one I use more often, and that is the Retrograde. And the reason for that is I don't like a whole bunch of extra. This thing is super small, it's super compact, it's tiny. However, it's not going to leave you any extra room for anything. It is exactly what you need and nothing else. But what the purpose of this video is today is we're going to go over the specs of both of these stands. If you want to see a full review of either one of these stands, go back to my videos on my channel, and there's a full review of both of them by themselves. But I wanted to come on here, do a side-by-side comparison for you guys, the ones that are trying to decide which one they like better. There are some similarities about these stands we're going to talk about first. The riser height from the platform of the stand up to the seat, exact same on both stands. They are 18 inches. We hold them up next to each other, exact same. The next thing is the seat size. Seat size is the exact same size, which is an 8 by 11. So one thing to remember is they are coming out with like an aftermarket seat for these things that are more the mesh style that you see on their new style lock-ons. That is going to be a huge addition. They should be on the website in the next month or so. Other than that, on the similarities, the next thing that you've got is they both do have the 5-step adjustment there in the middle. Both of them have that. Both of them have the fold flat, and they also have the meat shelf, which I'll show you that before this video is over. But the purpose of this is, guys, is I want to talk about the platform size difference, the weight difference, and then I'm going to hook them up on the tree. I've got my saddle down here. I'm going to get on there and walk around so you guys can see the actual difference in the foot sizes right next to each other. That's just space that you've got to walk around. So the Retrograde. The Retrograde has a 14 by 23 inch platform. Again, it is small. This stand comes in at 6.1 pounds. The Cold World is 7.5 pounds with a 17.5 by 26 inch platform. So that's going to be the biggest difference in between these two stands. One thing that they also both have that I really am a fan of is the coating that's on them. It gives a little extra grip. There are some guys that complain, say that it kind of chews up their back. Wear 2 shirts, you'll be perfectly fine. Let me show you the meat shelf capabilities. Got it like this. Take that, dude, fold it down right here. You can see there's a bolt. As you go up, it hits. All you have to do is back that guy out a few turns, push it up, and then you're gonna take it, screw it back in a few more times, boom, it locks it in place. You have a meat shelf. One thing that I want to talk about with this, because I've been asked, you see how small that thing is? You can run 4 sticks on this, whether that's the X2s or something else, as long as you're using J-hooks. The bottom of your sticks will go right here underneath the seat, leaves the room up here for the top of your sticks. I run 4 sticks and 4 8ers with this stand, again, how faded the seat is, and I don't have any issues at all. So you can run 4 sticks with this. However, if you're doing a 2-stick setup, it works really well for that. But I like to get as high as possible, so I do run 4 sticks with it, and it will hold them with your bag on there as well. The Cold World on the other side of that, you have all kinds of room when this thing is folded down. I'm not going to flip the seat down, but if this thing's folded down, you have plenty of room to put your 4 sticks, as well as space to put your pack in the middle. And actually, when this thing's folded up, because it's extended here, if you wanted to put your sticks on the bottom of this so they're not up the sides, this stand has plenty of room that you can do that. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get these things on a tree so we can talk about that footing and the space that you have there. All right, guys, we got both stands set up now. Remember, I'm gonna move this thing around so that you can actually get a side-by-side comparison. I'll have it here, and then I'll move the camera around over there so you can see on that side. But the stand we're gonna start with is the Retrograde, which, don't forget, guys, this is the smaller of the 2 stands. We've got the Cold World over there set up just a little bit higher. I would like for you guys to remember I've got a size 12 foot. So whenever we're doing this, that kind of give you that comparison. So number one, if you're just gonna hunt out of like a traditional lock-on style, you can see here how your feet sit on it. So with my legs at a perfect 90, about a quarter of my foot is hanging off the front of the stand. Turn sideways, it's the same way. Like I said, it's only 14 inches wide, so you're not gonna have a whole bunch of clearance there. This thing is going to be the minimalist, as small as it possibly can be and still be usable. If you end up with the Retrograde, it is super awesome. It's small, it doesn't stick out past your shoulders, but remember, you need to get in your yard, you need to set it up like this at the base of your tree, and you need to take those shots out of it because there is not a whole bunch of extra room on that platform. However, one of the big things about this is that I see guys doing is using this as a saddle platform, using it as a hybrid system. This thing works out great. Are you going to be able to kick as hard around the side of the tree? Not unless you're using 2 straps. On this stand right now, I just have the top strap on. That's how I like to run them because I don't use mine like that. And if I'm going to take the shot around the tree, I just lean around the tree. I don't swivel all the way around. But it works out great as a saddle platform if you want to use it as that kind of hybrid thing. That's the Retrograde. It's super small. You can see the foot size. I've got my feet together. I've got about 2 inches on either side of them. You're not going to have a bunch of extra space. Is what it is. So now let's move over to the cold world. All right, guys, so now we're set up in the cold world. If you are looking for something that's extremely lightweight, but still gives you a lot of room for mobility, the cold world is the thing. And the thing is, this thing only comes in about 1.5 pounds heavier than its little brother over here, the Retrograde. Same foot, same tree, just slid around just a little bit. So looking at this one, when I'm sitting at a perfect 90, my toes are at the very end of the bar. Makes sense because this one's going to be a longer platform. When it comes to width, if I put my feet together, now I've got about 4 inches on either side. The other plus side about this one versus that one, if it means something to you, it doesn't to me because of the bow hanger that I use. But XOP does sell a universal bow hanger for the side. This stand is big enough that it gives you availability that you can put it on there and you're not going to really be concerned about bumping it. The Retrograde, you can do that, but if you do put it on there, again, it's just something you're going to have to be out in the yard praying with, practicing with, that way that you know your movements around it so you're not bumping your bow. And what I mean by that is if you're up there and you want to get up, stand up, stretch your legs, you don't want to bump that bow, knock that bow over, you're going to have to hit it pretty good to do that, but just in case. Doing the exact same thing, we come over here, we hang on the side of it. If you wanted to use this thing as a saddle platform, it's going to work for that well, especially considering that a lot of these saddle platforms you end up with, 4 or 5 pounds, and these stands are only going to be at the most 3.5 pounds heavier, and they're huge. So it's got plenty of room. And whenever it comes to the 2 stands and people and what you like more. So myself, like I said, I like the Retrograde. It's small, it's compactable, it's way inside of my shoulders. I mean, the cold world is inside your shoulders too, but the Retrograde is just way inside your shoulders. Eric prefers, and Eric is the red-headed guy you see on my channel all the time, Eric prefers the cold world. The reason being, it's only 1.5 pounds heavier and it gives you so much more room. So when it comes to the question that I'm always getting asked, which stand do I prefer more? Both of these. So it's going to depend on the individual and depend on how much room you want. There's the cat, the cat's back. But depending on how much room you want and how comfortable you feel like being in a tree. I think if you're looking for more of that hybrid style stand, I think the Retrograde is probably something that you would need to look at. If you are looking for a extremely lightweight with plenty of room style hang-on stand, this cold world is absolutely going to be hard to beat. It's got all kinds of room and it's only 7.5 pounds. Both of them are great options depending on what you're looking for. So anyways, guys, that's it. That is the cold world and the Retrograde side-by-side comparison. I didn't put the saddle on. The only reason is I didn't think I needed to for the purpose of this video. Both are super awesome options whenever it comes to an extremely lightweight stand. We run them. I like them. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not trying to talk XOP up or talk XOP down. There are hundreds of lock-ons out there. But at the weight of these and the price they have them at now, I had to do another video. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for y'all today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go back to that homepage, hit the little bell up top, because you never know what kind of products we're going to be doing. And deer season starts this weekend. Need I say more? If you have any more questions about either one of these stands or any other product that you see on my channel, by all means, get in the comments down below and ask, and I will try to get to those as soon as possible. I think you can ask anybody. I usually answer questions pretty quick. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, good hunting, and we will see you from a tree.